Today we're going to have a look at the programming of the MultiSpot GII. All the functions of the MultiSpot GII are selected with the menu system using a backlit LCD display on the rear panel of the fixture. The menu is controlled by 5 buttons. The mode button that lets you change the modes of the unit, the left and right buttons which control the actual function in the mode, and the plus and minus button which let you make further configurations of the function. Now let's start with the first menu item, the static colors. The HP3, HP4 and HP5 have 25 predefined colors that you can easily call up by pressing the left and right buttons of the unit. As you can see, the display now shows ST, which stands for static color, and following that, the display shows the number of the color. If you have a look in your manual, you will see that every color has its own number. So if you want to get the lavender color, you should press the right button until the display shows ST11. In this mode, you can also use the plus and minus button to dim the lighting level. The display will now show a value between 0 and 100 that indicates the actual brightness. The next mode we will have a look at is color scroll. In this mode, you can create your own colors without using a DMX controller. The display shows C for color and a number between 0 and 255. So when starting at 0, then pushing the right button, there will be more green in it until you get only green. If you go further, you will see that then the blue LEDs are fading in and so on. Just like in the static color mode, you can adjust the brightness via the plus and minus buttons. Now as you can see, the MultiSpot is switching colors because we are in switch program mode, indicated by SP in the display. Here you can open 9 different color switches and 4 strobes in red, green, blue and white. With plus and minus buttons, the speed is adjustable, so we can set the program to run at 11 steps per second, 1 step per 240 seconds, or one of the other 23 speed settings that you can find in your manual. If you are using a strobe, you can use the plus and minus button to adjust the strobe speed. You can even control the light via its inbuilt microphone. For that you just have to set it to the S2L mode. You will find the sound to light mode between SL1 and SL25, so whenever there's a bass beat, the program switches to the next step. Using the sound to light mode when the strobe is activated, the unit will flash on every bass beat. Just click on the mode button one more time and you will get to the fade programs, indicated by FP. Again, you can use the left and right buttons to switch between the 8 fade programs and the plus and minus button to adjust the speed of the fades, from 2.8 loops per second to 1 loop per 960 seconds. Now if you are using multiple fixtures, you will have the problem that they aren't really operating in synchronism. To get them working in sync, you have to use the DMX slave mode. First, make sure that every fixture is connected via DMX cables. After that, half of the work is done. Now you just have to select the first fixture in the chain till you want a preset and then set the following fixtures to DMX slave mode, indicated by SLA. Now every fixture will be synchronized with the first one in the chain. But sometimes it may look a bit boring if every fixture is doing the same thing. To prevent that, you can use 4 different slave groups. By using slave groups, you will create a delay in your program. Here you can see an example. This fixture is in slave group 1, and this one is slave group 2. As you can see, the fixture in slave group 2 is always 1 step behind the fixture in slave group 1, so you get a little bit of variety. If you want to have a full remote control of your fixtures, you should use the DMX general mode, indicated by GDMX. The HP3 has 5 DMX modes, while the HP4 and HP5 have 7. I will begin with the DMX modes of the HP3. You can change them by pushing the left or right button. So the first one is the 3 raw mode, which is an RGB DMX mode using 3 channels. The next one is the 3CC mode. This one uses 4 DMX channels so that you have RGB and a combined master and strobe channel. Maybe you recognize it from the original MultiSpot series. The third one is the 3CMS mode, which lets you control the HP3 via 5 DMX channels, RGB plus separate master and strobe channels. The HLS mode, used for in-display lighting applications, uses 4 channels to control the hue, saturation and lightness plus the strobe. And the last mode is the preset mode, indicated by press, which lets you recall all the internal presets, colors and programs of the unit. Now that you know how to set the mode, you will need to give the unit the right DMX address. To adjust the DMX address, push the plus and minus buttons. If no more changes are made, the fixture will automatically save the new address. The two additional DMX modes of the HP4 and HP5 are the RGBW and the RGBAW DMX modes, one without a master dimmer and strobe 5 RAW and one with separate channels for the dimmer and strobe 5 CMS. Using the color balance control indicated by C-Bell, you can define your individual color balance. Maybe you want warm colors or maybe you need colder colors. By pressing the left and right buttons, you can choose the red, green or blue LEDs which you actually want to adjust. You can adjust them between a value from 200 to 255 using the plus or minus button. But note, these settings will affect all the modes of the unit, including the DMX modes. The next thing we are going to have a look at are the edit modes. Here you have the ability to switch on the automatic DMX addressing. You can use it to set the DMX address of every unit in the chain automatically. So to use the automatic DMX addressing, go to your first fixture in the DMX chain and select automatic DMX addressing, indicated by ADMX, and push the plus button. Now all fixtures will display the same color mix and the DMX addresses are assigned consecutively. Pressing the right button, we get the next function, which is auto lock, confirmed by a lock in the display. With this function, the LCD display of the unit is locked, so that no more changes can be made. To activate it, you have to press and release the plus button, and after 1 minute, the display will be locked. To unlock it, push the left and right buttons simultaneously. If the auto display off function is active, showing ADIS, the backlit of the display will switch off after 1 minute of interface inactivity. But as you can see, the display itself will remain active. You can set it on or off with the plus or minus button. If you want to see the operating temperature of your fixture, you can turn this function on using the plus button, indicated by temp in the display. After 1 minute of inactivity, it will show the temperature of the fixture in Celsius. You also should know that if the fixture gets too hot, it will automatically reduce power and then finally shut down to protect the LEDs from overheating. After a cooling break, it will automatically start up again. If you want to completely reset your fixture to the factory defaults, excluding the total operating hours, you can do this by using the reset mode, indicated by RSet. Just select it via the left or right button and push the plus button to confirm the reset. The LED panel will flash once. To see the operating hours and the firmware version, you can select OR or VERSE and push the minus button. After that, the display will show your total operating hours or firmware version.